Hey guys, my name is Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming at you with my contemporary Thon TBR. I tend to save my owned contemporaries for this specific readathon. It is, I believe, the 4th installment. It is hosted by Chelsea over at Chelsea Darling Reads, Julie over at Pages and Pens, Natasha over at My Reading is Odd, and finally the newest host is Mel over at Mel to the Any. She is new to BookTube, but she is not new to the community. She'll also be hosting the new feature of this Contemporary-thon, which is there will be Instagram challenges. So I will have Contemporary-thon linked below. I will have all of the hosts linked below. I'm so excited. I love all 4 of those women. They're like pillars of the community to me. Really excited to get into it. The dates are February 11th through the 17th. There are 7 challenges, as there usually are. They're very interesting challenges. Obviously, as they always say, feel free to mix and match. There's a little bit of, you can inch away from contemporary into some magical realism and some light fantasy if you so choose. I'm sure I'll do that based on one of the authors that I have for this lineup, but let's get into it. So first and foremost, I have a very long list of possible reads. I'm going to do my best to sort them into the categories provided, the challenges provided. I intend to try and read all of these, though they might not all be read this week. If you saw my actual TBR for February, you'll see that I am being very ambitious this month, but we're gonna try. Challenge number 1 is to read your most recently acquired / purchased contemporary, and I'm going with the author I referenced before, which is Everything All at Once by Katrina Leno. I'm pretty sure this has some fantastical elements in it, much like Summer of Salt. Nope, that's not true. The other Katrina Leno book that most people on BookTube who know about Contemporary-thon have heard / read, Summer of Salt. I've been meaning to get to this for a while, so now seems like the time. It's about a girl whose aunt passes away, and her aunt is kind of like the J.K. Rowling of their universe, and she learns something, if I'm not mistaken, from her aunt post her aunt's death, and so it's about loss and it's about learning. Yes, that's basically what it is. It's learning a secret and dealing with grief, and I've heard good things, so I'm ready for it. Challenge number 2 is to read a book with blurple on the cover, which is a mix of blue and purple. I do believe you can do blue or purple or a combination of both. I think I've hit all 3 with this one book, and that is This Adventure Ends by Emma Mills. This was on my maybe list from the last Contemporary-thon, and I just never got to it, and I know that it's Julie's favorite, and I know my girl Lacey loves it, and this time I for sure am going to read it. It will probably come first in the Contemporary-thon, I promise, guys. It's about a girl who has to make a big move and make new friends, and she doesn't think that it's going to be as possible as it turns out to be, and her life becomes one big adventure. That's as much as the synopsis gives me. I intend to go in just as blind as I feel right now. I'm hoping it'll be a quick read. It looks like it will be, so number 1 on my list. Challenge number 3 is to read a diverse contemporary, keeping in mind that February is Black History Month. So when you read diversely, you might want to choose a Black author or a Black main character, or both. I have several options for this, none of which have come into my possession yet. Just double checking. In any case, I have, from the library on hold, Finding Yvonne by Brandy Colbert. I love Brandy Colbert. I read Little and Lion. I believe I 4-starred it. She's a good writer. She's a Black woman that writes Black characters, so that will fit the bill. Finding Yvonne is about a girl who is a violinist, and she's at the point in her life where she has to make the decision as to whether it's something she wants to pursue in life, but she's not as good as she thinks she needs to be in order to pursue it as a career, and she runs into a street musician that kind of gives her inspiration or changes her view of things, and then she gets pregnant. And that is the plot, and we'll find out what happens from there. Secondarily, I placed both a hold on the ebook and the audiobook for My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyen Khan Braithwaite. I have heard some really good things about it. Its title basically gives you the synopsis. It's told from the perspective of someone whose sister, I believe it's her boyfriend's, keep dying. So she's assumedly a serial killer. It's been the buzz, hype, name it as you shall, on BookTube and Instagram through January, so I fell into the category of seeing it hyped and wanting to read it, and so it has been put on hold on my library. I am hoping it comes in time for the Contemporary-a-thon. But if not, we'll be reading Finding Yvonne. Challenge number 4, that's 8. 4 is to read a dark, taboo, or emotional contemporary. And I believe that Everything All at Once is going to fit the bill in emotions. And also for an emotional journey and a story about trauma and surviving trauma and death is The Lost and Found, but also by Katrina Leno. So it might be a very Katrina Leno-y contemporary-a-thon, and ambitious, that is. But if I don't get to this, then Everything All at Once is the priority and fits into the category. But it'd be really nice if I could complete all of the books that I have listed. In the end, I'll lift them all up, plus all of the ones that I don't physically have right now, and I'll die a little on the inside. Number 5 is to read a contemporary that I meant to read in 2018 but did not, and literally any of the books I have already shown account for that. But to go with something different, I have The Last of August by Brittany Caballero. I read A Study in Charlotte a few months ago. I believe that was also for the Contemporary-a-thon, so it'd be nice to pick this up. Again, this is probably least priority, mostly because I've heard that the second book is the weakest in the quartet so far. Only a couple people would know about the quartet, so we'll call it the trilogy so far. But it's about descendants of Sherlock Holmes and Watson, and they're college age, maybe even, I think they're high school age, and it's kind of like contemporary young adult thrillers. They're finding out what's happening. That's good enough. So yes, The Last of August by Brittany Caballero. Number 6 is to read a contemporary in a non-traditional format, which is literally anything other than a physical book, as the ones I've shown you are. I have the holds coming in, so like Brandy Colbert's book, My Sister the Serial Killer. Also, previously I said that I pre-ordered 99% Mine by Sally Thorne, but I've also said that I like my shelves to be books that I really loved, like 4-star or higher. And most of the people I know that loved The Hating Game, like 5-star loved it, have given 99% Mine 3 stars, so I canceled my pre-order in favor of requesting it through my library. I feel like that was the safe thing for me monetarily, the smart choice for me monetarily, and so if it comes in, it will be on my list for the Contemporary-a-thon, but if it doesn't make it in time, I'll read it when I read it. We've run a lot of books at this point, so some of them are gonna have to get the axe. That might be one of them. But if it all works out, I'll have an ebook at some point. Fingers crossed. And number 7 is to read a contemporary that has a picture on the spine, not just words, and Sally Thorne's 99% Mine would work for that as well, so if that comes in I will count it, even though it will be an ebook. But also, The Last of August could work because they're the 2 people on the bottom here. Technically, Everything All at Once also has an ocean, and there's some paint here. But really, that would be the proper thing. In any case, guys, that's my TBR. It is quite ambitious because not just these 4 books, which are quite aesthetically pleasing, honestly, but I've got 3 more on hold. Hopefully will come in on time in ebook form. And last but not least, I should be receiving an arc of Girls on the Verge. It's one of my most anticipated reads, which is another video that I'll have linked when I can link it. It is a contemporary story about a girl who gets pregnant in her teens and kind of has to, it's really a story about the ability to make your own choice in the matter of an unexpected and possibly unwanted pregnancy and the journey that a young woman would have to take in order to come to the conclusion of that situation. It's one of my highly anticipated reads of the year. I can't wait to get to it. It comes out in April, but if I get the arc in the mail in time, it'll be on my TBR as well. I will be doing a weekly vlog, possibly every other day. It really depends on how my life works out. I might split it in 2. In any way, I will try and get a vlog during Contemporary-a-thon to see how I do and to force me to try and read as much as I can in those 7 days. So that's it for me, guys. I will link everyone down below, the hosts, the Instagram. I think that's it. I got nothing more except a very ambitious TBR, and I hope yours is just as ambitious and that we all do as well as one another can. And I can't wait to see what you guys are reading and see how you guys do. And I hope to see you in the next one. Like if you like this video, subscribe if you are new here and would like to see more content from me. All my social media links are down below for Goodreads and Twitter and Instagram. You can become friends on other platforms as well. Thank you for being here, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hey guys, my name is Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel.